What's up, guys? Today I'm doing something wild. Coca-Cola recently dropped an AI generated holiday ad. This ad reportedly used tens of thousands of prompts, which is roughly 75,000 prompts, potentially millions of dollars, massively producing this in a pipeline and millions more just to advertise it. I'm going to recreate the feel of this ad using generative AI, Higgs field, Kling, Davinci Resolve on a $75 budget, same concept, same vibe, but with tools that you could just use at home. Before touching any AI tools, you need to understand one thing. It's about copying structure. Coca-Cola is following a structure in these formula prompts. Movement through space, light spreading as trucks move, warm light against cold winter tones. A journey, not a static scene. That's essentially what they're trying to do. Every time a truck passes something, the animals wake up and such. You need believability and motion continuity. Our goal is making it have a fluid motion, and that's where start frame, end frames, and AI comes in. Here's the exact workflow I'm using. I design a still frame first. I decide which shots need a start frame only, which shots need both start frame and end frame. I generate motion using Kling 01 or VO3 in Higgs field. I bring everything to life with Davinci Resolve, I glue it all together, and then boom, you're all set. There's legit nothing fancy about this besides prompting, and we're gonna get to that. So with prompting, as you can see, everything's really detailed. The scene, the duration, the style, location, details, characters, emotions, etc. Just copy and paste the JSON prompt I have below, and from here on out, your ChatGPT will do JSON prompts in such details like this. So for example, I want to do something similar to this. So I'll tell it to analyze this picture and then create the details and explanation I want that, I essentially want to occur. So for example, hey ChatGPT, I want you to analyze the previous photo, and I want where the context of the video will be the Coca-Cola trucks driving by and the headlights glaring into the seal's eyes, and they all look at each other and they start becoming really excited and happy. I want it in a cinematic format, 4K for a 5-second duration video, 16:9 aspect ratio. I want the camera to slowly pan to the right. All right, once you guys do this and copy and paste the JSON prompt I have below, from here on out, your ChatGPT will do such a detail that fit perfectly for Kling 2.6, 1.0, or even VO. What you're gonna do is go to Higgs field, copy and paste it, and you should have something coming out like this. And this part is critical. You guys need to have start frames. A start frame tells the AI this is where the shot begins, continuing motion naturally. You use a start frame when the trucks is already moving, the camera is already in motion. You don't care exactly where it ends. Most of the Coca-Cola style driving shots fall into this category. The end frame is telling the AI you must land here. You use an end frame when you want a specific angle, and you also want a continuity between shots. You are continuing transitioning to a hero moment. You're able to really path and pan these camera movements through prompts between start frames and end frames. So sometimes let the prompt do its thing only with the start frame. This is where ChatGPT comes in. I don't write prompts directly into Higgs field. I use ChatGPT to condense my ideas first. I asked ChatGPT for a short JSON prompt, no fluff, clear motion intent, clear lighting behavior. Generating with Kling is like very easy inside a Higgs field. You just click on Kling, upload a start frame. Once you have everything together, you just click generate, and you should have a clean motion, character consistency, and light reacting correctly. So the video is 70% done. That's a win. Once I bring everything into Davinci Resolve, this just becomes normal edit. The truck is driving through valleys, driving on bridges, animals wake up. That's essentially the storyline that Coca-Cola went through. What's crazy is the budget reality check kind of blew my mind on this, because they did over 75,000 prompts, even more, I wouldn't doubt it. And I think they spend 1.3 billion on ads every year on like holidays, which is crazy. And this video costs $75, one editor, off the shelf AI tool. And the takeaway isn't I beat Coca-Cola. The takeaway is the playing field has changed. Small creators can now prototype ideas that used to require entire studios. If you want more breakdowns like this, AI plus editing plus real workflow, subscribe. Next video, I'll break down why some AIs feel fake and how you could fix that and make it into a photorealistic 4K video without it actually looking fake. So really quick, I'm gonna show you guys how I actually did this commercial. This is only one frame, correct? It's only one frame, and I coded it where it does like certain mists and fizzling. But then this is a first frame and end frame. So the first frame's here, and then I moved it over to this end frame. This was the end frame. Everything in between was just JSON prompt, and I let Kling do its thing. Now, the more I became optimized in this, the more I realized, like, hey, why don't I just do 5-second durations to tell the story instead of doing a first and end frame? Only in certain segments you want first and end frame. So, for example, that's only first. This is only a first frame. This is only a first frame. So all these were 5-second image referenced first frame with a JSON prompt. That's it. First frame. So, for example, this is only a first frame, but an example of using an end frame is like, I want an image or I want the camera to zoom in into the car while the truck driver is driving. That could be an end frame. So for example, I would go into ChatGPT, reference image, and then I would actually use it for my start frame and end frame. So this is a start frame, and then my end frame would be this. And essentially it will put those two together. So for example, I'm gonna tell it, now can you create me a JSON prompt of the first shot being the image I referenced, and then the second shot of the actual truck driver driving. Now I will go into ChatGPT because it creates prompts better. So I'll go into ChatGPT, create the JSON prompt, go into Higgsfield, copy and paste it, and then boom. And now for this shot, this is a first frame. So this was the first frame. So the left one is the first frame. The right one is the end frame. And I made it so they emerge from the water and they're curious looking at the Coca-Cola trucks. And this is how it turned out. And that was the end frame. It looked identical to the end frame, like that. So that's when you use the first frame and end frame. Honestly, it's a little tip. But majority of shots, you don't need it. Like this is just a one frame. This is a one frame, and then this is a one frame. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you guys did, drop a like, subscribe, please, guys, because it takes me a lot of time, especially, studying these AI stuff, let alone Davinci Resolve, animations, and such. So if you guys want that, be hip to things, this is the time to do so. Subscribe now, be there, be small.